Hello everyone, welcome to my second episode today. Alright, today's topic on Nioh, spears. Now, I'm gonna be honest, whether it be Dark Souls or most other games, I am not a spear person. Never was. In Dark Souls, the spears were a bit lacking. They had great reach, sure, but their DPS was shit. They usually have no good overall damage, just had reach and that was all. However, this is Nioh. And the spears are very, very different. In fact, very deadly. Though in my opinion, they are the hardest to use. But possibly the best. That's why I saved them for last. Now, it's no surprise about spears. Well, what their uses are. But let's go on a bit of lore. Now, for the lore of the spear, for a Japanese spear called a yari, they go by many names, but yari is simply the general bland term meaning spear. Now, Japan was not a metal-rich country. It's an island. It doesn't have vast resources of ore. So, swords use lots of ore. So spears became the next best thing, because they have longer reach, they're jabbing, and they don't need a lot of skill for a peasant to use for times of army. So yes, in the past that the samurai used mainly their bow and arrows, eventually switched to the spear. Until next thing you know, whole Japanese armies are armed with spears. Some had swords, though they're reserved for emergency combat, and they're more expensive given that they need more metal and skill to produce. So the spear came in many, many, many forms. But yes, there's various names, usually followed with yari. An example would be the Yakuchi yari, the Sasharu yari, and Senshishu yari. I butchered all three of those names, and that's just a few names in a huge ocean of spears. So yeah, in terms of weaponry, the spears was probably the most common weapon in Japan during the feudal era. Now for the stance, well, the basic attack is what you expected, various swipes and jabs. No surprise there. Now, in terms of using spears, they're not too difficult, and even power attack, you got very straight jabs. Now spears of course bounce off walls very easily, but the power attack luckily alleviates this, and the rolling, as you see, it's a dash and roll. Pretty good. Now for the quick stance, you hold it with only one hand, for some weird reason. And you can see the quick attacks are vary between jabs and swipes, very rapidly. Very neat too. Very good DPS too, more than you would expect. Then you got the power attack, which is very heavy wide swipes. Very easy to bounce off walls and other objects. And for the dash, you got the very short dash, no rolling. So maybe the medium stance is best for rolling again, or dodging. Then you got the powerful stance, where you hold it overhead, ready. The basic attack is overhead swing, and swinging it wide and to the side. So yes, again, very heavy risk of bouncing off objects. But excellent range. Now for power attack, it's one attack. Spin around and jab. Very fancy. And the dodging is just a short roll. So again, this middle stance is probably the best use for dodging. Now, how well does it do in combat? Well, you obviously have the greatest height advantage right beside the sickle and chain. The Kuragami, I believe that was pronounced. But no matter, in terms of second place, you might get the spear. The Kuragami's only certain attacks get that wide range, but the spear has almost a majority of its attacks are very long range. So it's a good way to keep opponents at a very long reach safely. Or you could go in with quick, decisive blows. Alright, let's move on to skills. Now, as I mentioned earlier, for me, the spear might be the hardest set to use. They have a lot of different skills, and some of them are a bit specialized in my opinion, but all of them are quite effective. Leo Naomasa, from my axe video, demonstrated how deadly a spear can be. I doubt I'll get it that great, but I'll grab a few moves. So a spear shove seems pretty good. The Chidori. That name sounds very familiar. Where had I heard that before? I don't know. But anyway, we got that. A living weapon, we'll hold off on living weapons. That's a video for another day. Piercing Rain. Oh, I recognize that move. Lee Naomasa used it against me. So I'll definitely grab that one. Okay, increase thrust damage. And Can't say I'm too intrigued by the spear fall. Way too many wide blows. No, that one's not flashy enough. Windmill. Ooh, there we go. Seemed like a very good defensive move. Keep enemies at bay. We'll try that one. I don't need the specialized version. Body swap, what's this? Ooh, looks neat. Good way to get behind your opponent very quickly. Alright, let's see. I think that's all I had points for. And you can see it even has parrying there, but if I can do a body swap, that's probably better. Alright, let's try some things. Let's see. Piercing range, Chidori for high stance, though Chidori goes for nearly every stance can do Chidori, so for high stance I'll put my spear thing in. Got the windmill. Silly name. But it's pretty easily implied. So yes, you can't use the multi-spear jab with the mid stance. So let's see. Okay, that's the body swap. Alright, pretty not very flashy, is it? Let's try it. Now my opponent there has another spear. Let's try it. That's a miss. There we go. Oh, very quick too. Look at that. Good way to put an enemy in a corner. And there's the windmill. Nice. Alright. Let's try that multi-spear jab. Oh, damn. Oh, that's nice. That's a good way to deliver a lot of damage very quickly. Now let's try that spear thrust, or that spear block, you know. Just shove. That's what it was. Oh, it even does damage. Didn't know that. Very nice. Now I'm going to try attempt to do Chidori. Attempt to. Because that's... To launch enemy mid-air, and he needs to be out of stamina. Oh, damn it. Almost had it there. The second move is Chidori. It's very short range. Okay, see, didn't run out of stamina there. Okay, I'll try as the last target. So the Chidori is a bit difficult to fully perform, since you gotta do it right when your enemy's out of chi. So that's easier said than done, and without myself running out of ki in the process. Has to be timed just right. Let's try it again. Come on. Oh. Again, I'm bouncing off stuff because of the damn spear's range. There we go. There we go. But enough of me fumbling with skills. I think I got my point across with that. Now, onto the score and pros and cons of the spear set, or the Yari, however you wish to call it. For pros, it's got excellent reach for all weapons. Clearly, it's a spear. The skills are both defensively and offensively, which is pretty nice. Doesn't mean it goes for every playstyle, but it's definitely there. And they're also quite nimble despite being spears, something that other games usually falter on when it comes to spears. Now for the cons, in my experience, so it may be only for me, but I'm not too sure for everyone, but I'll say it anyway, I find their skill set the most difficult to use. And as I mentioned earlier, it's only offensive and defensively, so it's not suited for every playstyle. Alright. But those are pretty minor cons, and one of them may be only related to me, but that's my experience with it. Going on to the score for the spear style. Damage, I'll give it 8 out of 10. Plenty of damage. A lot, actually. Not so much as an axe, or the DPS of the sickle and chain, but a very close third in terms of damage. Reach, 9 out of 10. You got excellent reach. Sickle and chain may be greater range, but I still think the spear has plenty. Intense are reserved for projectiles only. Skills though, even though they're difficult to do, I will give it a 7 out of 10. There's still a lot and they're very effective. Speed? 7 out of 10. Most spears you would expect about the lowest and lower than that, but I give the same speed as a sword. For miscellaneous, 7 out of 10. There's a couple of spear uniques I've found so far, and they do have lots of skills of variety of offensive and defensive. So that's pretty damn neat. So in total, I give the spears of Nioh 38 out of 50. They're excellent weapons. And that concludes all the base weapons for Nioh. We still have the ranged weapons to go over, which won't be nearly as long, because again, there's not a whole lot to identify, but so far we've seen every weapon is excellent. There's no weapon set that's clearly horrible. All of them are good. That's a good thing. No one likes a horrible set. Agreeably, it always has to be a bad weapon, but identifying a bad weapon in this game might be actually a bit difficult to do. But no matter. That's been Showcase for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.